Depression hit me in a way I never expected. After treatment, I was weight restored, but deeply uncomfortable in my new body. Then a small life event shattered what little confidence I'd rebuilt, and I fell right back into restriction. I've always known anxiety, but depression, that was a new territory. My whole life, even as a child, I had been driven by intense motivation that anorexia only amplified. It pushed me to be the smallest, work long hours, and just chase perfection. This mindset defined everything: school, sports, work, fitness, until suddenly it all stopped. Getting out of bed became impossible. Every morning was a battle against exhaustion and emptiness, constantly wondering, what is the point? Work was really the only thing that forced me up. Bills don't pay themselves. I felt like I was living inside of one of those depression commercials. I was checking off every symptom on that list. My eating disorder had already isolated me for over 20 years, but this was different. I completely withdrew from everyone, avoiding human contact whenever possible. I couldn't even talk to my mom anymore. We used to speak every day during my drive home from work, but then one day, I just couldn't. It was just too overwhelming, and I didn't want to upset her, or even worse, make her have to experience my depression. And then there was working out, something I never skipped. I exercised every single day, no matter what. If I was sick, exhausted, freezing temperatures outside, a foot of snow, it did not matter. Nothing could stop me. But depression did. And honestly, I didn't even care. That was completely unlike me. My confidence was shattered. I was starving myself, and exhaustion had completely taken over. This nightmare continued for months. So what finally worked? You might not like this answer, but I had to start eating again. As terrifying and uncomfortable as it felt, I forced myself to eat breakfast. From there, I slowly reintroduced all the foods that I had cut out of my meal plan. I just kept going because I needed fuel, not just for energy, but for motivation and for life. I had lost the ability to survive in an extremely restrictive state. I was miserable, convinced that gaining weight would only make things worse. But it didn't. Instead, I found energy. I started feeling more positive. Getting out of bed became easier. And for the first time in a long time, I started feeling happy again. I've always heard people say, you'll never regret recovery. It's the best thing you'll ever do. But I never truly believed it. I'm not fully recovered yet, but I'm starting to understand what they mean. I also began to fully engage with work again. I never stepped away, but I just wasn't showing up as my best self. And I knew I needed to get back on track. Focusing on my career helped rebuild my confidence. Not so much in my body, but in my abilities as a professional. I did reach out to a few friends that I do have and made coffee plans, even made lunch plans. I needed to get myself out and reconnect. I needed support in whatever form that looked like, and I needed distraction from what I was going through. These were extremely challenging steps, but these small actions made a tremendous impact. Lastly, I reconnected with activities I once loved. I thought back to what made me happy as a kid, things that sparked joy and excitement completely unrelated to food, and then I started doing those again. I should mention that my therapist has been invaluable throughout this journey. Having someone to pull me out of my own head and offer a different perspective has been transformative. Their guidance, little by little, has helped me navigate this impossible maze. Not everyone has access to therapy or treatment centers, I do know, but I found immense value in podcasts, other stories, researching, and books. They've become lifelines. They motivate me to keep fighting when everything in my head is telling me to give up. Though I'm still in quasi-recovery, I'm profoundly grateful to say depression is no longer controlling my life. I'm not claiming these steps will work for everyone, but maybe something in my story will resonate with you, maybe offer a glimmer of hope when you need it most. Recovery is brutal. Let's be honest about that. And if you're in the trenches right now, you are not alone. I see you. I've been you. I am you. What helped you through your darkest moments? Share your comments below. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe. This community is growing, and your voice matters here. Together, we're creating a space for real, raw recovery conversations. No filters, no perfect endings, just truth. Stay connected, stay nourished, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for your support, and thank you for watching.